Hey YouTube, just an update on my identity crisis. I now sexually identify as SJW hair. Yeah, just the hair. I don't understand it either. But please, enjoy another Mr. Dapperton video. And if you don't go to his channel and subscribe and help him get over 100,000 subscribers, you're a cis white het tool of the patriarchy, and absolutely everything bad in the world is your fault.
Today, boys and girls and attack helicopters, we'll be looking at some intersectional feminist bullshit. Let's first take a look at the dislike to like ratio. Look, social justice warriors, it ain't flying. No one's buying what you're selling. Just stop. Church of Tonges, huh? Yeah, unless you're Christian, that's cultural appropriation. You are raping people of the Christian faith by calling your echo chamber a church.
I have a question.
Notice something? Yeah, exactly. She's white. And since she's talking about black issues, by social justice warrior standards, no matter how well she builds her case, none of it matters. All of it can be dismissed by pointing out her skin color. Oh, but I remember, all these rules only apply to other people. Social justice warriors can break their own rules at will, as long as it helps others submit to their will.
I actually have a special request, and that is, can you please stop saying all lives matter?
No way. All lives do matter, regardless of skin color. You fucking racist.
We get it. We know.
No, you don't. By dismissing the All Lives Matter hashtag, you're dismissing the whites that died at the hands of police. And I have a feeling you'll do this multiple times.
This is a personal request from someone who has social media and Facebook and a soul.
Bitch, I know you weren't born with that soul. I know where you got it from. You swallow your victims' souls, don't you?
Hey, I'll swallow your soul! I'll swallow your soul! I'll swallow your soul!
Swallow this.
The ability to listen and reason and then react accordingly.
Yeah, right.
Please stop using hashtag all lives matter. You sound like a condescending piece of shit.
A social justice warrior just called me a condescending piece of shit. I mean, the level of projection going on here is simply astounding. Go on, show us how we are the condescending pieces of shit.
We could talk about how when a house is burning down, you don't pour water on all of the houses because all houses matter.
But it's not just black people's houses being burned down here. In this analogy, white houses are being burned down too, because there are more white people being murdered by police than black people. So yes, so in this analogy, white people's houses deserve to have some water poured on them too. Everyone equally shouldn't have their houses burned down. Everyone equally shouldn't be murdered. It shouldn't just be black people who matter. All lives should equally matter.
We can talk about how if everyone at the table has a plate of food except for one person and they want a plate of food, we don't say, well, all plates matter.
Pretty sure I would say, give that guy a plate of food. All lives matter.
We could talk about Cheska Lee's many videos
Looks like the church of social justice warriors just found a pope. Shit.
on impact versus intent, what you think you're saying versus what you're actually saying and how it affects people.
Which has absolutely nothing to do with police killings, but let me translate that to actual English from your newspeak. It's what you actually saying versus how social justice warriors will twist it because they need an excuse to throw a temper tantrum.
Now, if all of these have escaped your social media, congratulations, you follow all of the wrong people. So let's fix that in 2016.
It's the current year. Let us brainwash you already. How about no? Your bullshit doesn't belong in the current year. I'd say it belongs in the Stone Age, but not even cavemen were that stupid. If they were, we wouldn't be here.
But as your potential Facebook friend, probably not. Let me tell you that if I see you write All Lives Matter, I'm gonna swoop on that ass. I can't be held accountable for the reasonable, beautiful things I'm going to say.
A little tip, if you're going to try to claim to be reasonable, first make sure that you're not in a movement that values feels over reason. Remember, if you're anywhere and it's you and a black woman there, you'll get to shut up and she will get to speak because your skin color is wrong. Even if you're right. Please, tell me how that's reasonable.
First of all, you don't understand the origin of hashtag Black Lives Matter, or the importance of what it's doing in the world right now.
Yeah, like sabotaging a gay guy's event because they have a different opinion? Or how about killing innocent people, like all of those police officers who were murdered? Yes, such a noble fucking cause.
Because you don't understand that hashtag All Lives Matter was really a very condescending response to hashtag Black Lives Matter, an attempt at erasing actual problems that are happening in the world.
Oh, come on. Libertarians have been calling out police brutality for years, before you social justice warriors pieces of shit decided to mint coin out of it. The last thing we'd want is to erase it. We just want to point out how all races have a stake in ending it.
Actual racism and the effects of that racism, especially when it's put into the hands of people who have too much power and access to weapons and aren't necessarily accounted for in their actions.
Beautiful. You actually point to the actual issue. Police have the power to get away with murder, not just of blacks, but of every race. But of course you had to fuck up first and mention something that's but a side note in this issue, pretending it's the main issue. Because taking away that power from the police is a concrete solution. Also, getting rid of victimless crimes that get innocent people killed by police every day is a great and real solution as well. Racism isn't the actual problem here.
And no, that is not me saying that I'm anti-cop. I'm not anti-cop. I'm anti-racism.
No, you're a social justice warrior. Your race is down to your heart and soul. Why else would you ignore people being killed by the police if they happen to be the wrong skin color?
And I'm anti the power being in the wrong hands.
Ah, very telling. You're not against the power to murder and get away with it. You're just mad that that power is not in the hands of social justice warriors.
And if we're really going to go on that tangent, first of all, if you're someone who promotes All Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter because you support police, but you are very upset or offended at Black Lives Matter, you need to ask yourself, what word in that upsets you?
Well, I don't support Blue Lives Matter either. Police killings are at an all-time low, and there are many professions with more danger than police work.
Hashtag Black Lives Matter does not mean that you are anti-cop. I know that's like an oversimplification. It's not being anti-cop. What it is recognizing that racism exists in this country.
This country is a pretty big place. Mind being more specific? Let me guess. No. Because you want everyone in this country to feel guilty, no matter if they have anything to do with racism or not.
There's no way you're going to get rid of systemic racism within a generation.
Now we went from racism to systemic racism. How very logical. Systemic racism means racist institutions. Those don't exist. What exists is racist individuals.
There are people still alive in the world who were around when black people couldn't drink at certain water fountains.
See, that was wrong and racist. But if they called those black-only water fountains black safe spaces instead, to you, that would have been very progressive and anti-racist, even though in reality, they are just as racist.
Were hosed down for protesting. You couldn't marry outside of your race. Like, that was within the past generation. That doesn't just go away because some laws changed. Like, no one just went home that night and was like, oh, fuck.
Segregation ended just last night? I think a few other things have happened meanwhile.
Well, we like black people now, I guess, because they have some rights, so we're definitely not going to pass this prejudice and racism down to our children quietly in the comfort of our homes.
Making up crackpot scenarios is fun. Maybe the Jews killed Harambe to cover up them sinking the Titanic, whereas presenting evidence that those scenarios actually happened, well, that's where it gets difficult, doesn't it?
Or go to our jobs where we can directly affect the black community and abuse our power in any kind of way because we have our own prejudices. How many anecdotal examples do we have to hear and see and live of people actually being afraid of someone because of the color of their skin?
That's not how evidence works. If you have cancer and I smear you in goat shit and you happen to recover, does that mean goat shit cured your cancer? I doubt it. When people speaking about subjects this big, anecdotal evidence is null and void. Do you know why some people hate blacks? It's because of anecdotal evidence. How is a black person stole from me once, so they're all thieves, different from a white person was racist to me once, so they're all racist?
To deny systemic racism.
I'll deny anything and everything that doesn't have evidence.
To sit here and say white people and brown people and black people are all treated the same, you are absolutely ignorant.
There are differences. Black people kill each other more than whites kill them. There are also more likely to beat their kids than white people and create single mothers. That has more impact on the black community than any abuse white people do to them.
And you're lying to yourself, and you're lying to everyone else. And because you're lying, and you're completely avoiding the truth.
How many times did you ignore whites being the victims of police brutality again?
Your silence is allowing the continued murder of black people.
You were silent as a corpse. Libertarians were exposing police brutality years ago.
with no justice. Literally seen the arguments in my comments being like, well, more white people were killed. Okay, more white people were killed in a calendar year. Congratulations. Have you taken into account statistics or population?
Gee, we couldn't skirt around the truth forever, could we? What's worse, the death of 9,758 Han Chinese or one Inuit? Anyone with a bit of sense would say the 9,758 Han Chinese. Yet by your deranged idiocy, since there are 9,759 times more Han Chinese than Inuits, the one Inuit is worse. Speaking of Asians, Asians are underrepresented in the victims of police killings. Do their deaths matter even less? No. Police brutality is a common issue to all races. All races will be better off if it got it fixed. But if they did get it fixed, you'd hate it, wouldn't you? Because you wouldn't be able to race bait.
Or any of that. Well, I believe that all lives matter because all lives are important and I love everything. I won't go into a tangent about how you probably don't because you probably eat meat. Just, do all lives matter? Or just the ones that you decide are worth living?
No, you bitch. We actually mean all lives matter.
That's a different topic for a different day. When you have millions of people telling you this is the origin for this hashtag, this is what this hashtag was in response to, and this is what it really means, what the impact of it actually is, and your response is, well, no, I'm just gonna believe what I want to believe.
Yeah, I'm gonna believe what the evidence says, and it's not like you have millions behind your horseshit.
You're making a direct choice to just say fuck you to everyone who's telling you, hey, that hurts, that doesn't help.
What a surprise. The great champion of reason is now complaining about hurt feelings. Who saw that coming besides everyone?
If you believe that all lives do matter, in order for all lives to matter, black lives have to matter.
Black lives do matter. All lives matter.
And currently they are not treated with the same amount of value.
When black people die by police, they get news stories and riots. When white people die by police, they get crickets.
You cannot deny that. And if you are denying that, you are y'all will really reach to find a way to avoid this conversation about racism and like, oh my God, I have to take some kind of responsibility, not because I made this happen, but because I'm continuing to benefit from the society that allows this to happen.
How in the actual fuck does the average white person benefit from police brutality?
Just, if you can't take the time to educate yourself,
don't insult education by comparing it to your drivel.
And to really go on Google and explore what all lives matter means. If you don't have the time to do that, then you shouldn't have the time to be on Facebook writing all lives matter and just flouncing around deciding that you and your interpretation just supersedes everything else.
Yes, when people say something, what they mean is what counts, not how you twist it.
People are sick of not having equality and not having rights.
All races lack the right to not be murdered by police. In that aspect, they're 100% equal.
It's not about waiting anymore for rights. It's about demanding them. The demand to be treated like a fucking human being, to not be gunned down without any just cause. People in this country don't magically lose their prejudice or racism because they're sworn into an office, or because they stand in front of a judge and say, I'm gonna protect people, or because they work in a school, or because they work in a hospital. It's one of the things that doesn't discriminate.
Okay, this is why social justice needs to die. Imagine her teaching your kids, telling them that they have to ignore a death if it's of a certain race.
So to all the people writing All Lives Matter, please, I'm trying to help you not look like a piece of shit. I'm trying to educate you.
Please stop insulting education.
On something that you really should be tuned into. The fact that for the past 3 weeks, all we've heard is how we're gonna lose our guns. We have to have our guns. There are responsible gun owners. And then someone who's a responsible gun owner and has a license gets shot because the cop's nervous.
No, because the cop has a right to murder and get away with it.
If you weren't upset about that, as a gun owner, as a fellow gun owner, what you really believe is that white people should have guns.
I am upset about that. I can still care about that issue and still hold up the middle finger for Black Lives Matter, condemning them for their bullshit.
People who look like me should have guns. Those are the people that are going to keep us safe, and those are the only people that can be trusted. And therein lies your fucking racism.
Nope, 404, racism not found. That killing of that gun owner was disgusting. I want everybody who is in the right state of mind to be able to own a gun. That includes all races. I'm not sure if you know this, but black people fall under that category.
I highly urge you to check out people who don't look like you, who are telling you their experiences.
Like Thomas Sowell or that guy T? Great idea.
And to use whatever privilege it is that you have, if you have any, which you probably do, to
Oh, for fuck's sake.
educate and to push forward change. So let's elevate those voices. Stop using All Lives Matter. We get it. All lives matter when it's convenient to you. I love you very much.
I'm reminded of a domestic violence situation where one partner hits the other and tells them they love them, so they stay for more abuse.
But I will love you more when you stop sucking.
And then we end with slut shaming.
Hey, please check out Mr. Dapperton's channel and give him subs and likes. Let's see if we can help get him up over 100,000 subscribers.